Perfect. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending upon your time zone. I believe many people, like some of the people are from outside India as well who have joined us today. Today we will be learning about how you can actually become industry readiness from A to Z. Okay, so I won't be actually disclosing the letter A and Z. Don't worry about it. It's just kind of a attractive statement. So, as you know, myself, Ramnik, and I am a project engineer, as Ria told, and Ria introduced me very well. I am impact creator. That's one of the position in IEEE transmitter. If you have gone through that portal, transmitter.ieee.org. I am also an IEEE brand ambassador, co-chair at Women ePower. Women ePower is kind of one of the track in Yes is 12. So Yes is 12, it is an international project competition started by Dr. Ramalata Marimuthu from Madras section. I am currently serving as a lead in IEEE Computer Society Student Leadership Program, so that we will be starting soon in the next month or in Feb, most probably. And I am also a technical coordinator for Youth for Sustainability Clubs. That's outside IEEE, so that's a different NGO. Okay, so what we will be exploring today, the first slide I will go you through, like what are the important, or I would say some of the parameter, 2 or 1 parameter which is important, what industry want today from you. I hope many of you are from first year, second year, third year, fourth year, okay? And many of like 2 to 3 more professors are there on the call. So I hope that professors can help us to embed this particular learning into the students of their own institutions, and we can actually build a networking community, yeah, better community together. So the second point and third point, project-based learning and research-based learning, which I personally think, because I will be sharing one surprise box which will contain my resume. So I will show you my resume. Please don't spread out the information or something. Like many people, I think many people actually don't work on the security. So they share my presentation, see like Ramnik sir is having such percentage in 12th class or BTech. Don't do that work, okay? So I will just share the resume just to showcase what are the different projects and papers I have gone through, or I will share my website directly. Okay, then we will be looking on to how IEEE helped and helping me right now also. I am a young professional. I have undergraduate last year, July 2019. And Aryan, if you are there, if you have joined from IEEE mail ID, there are kind of pop-up coming up on Google Meet. Can you please approve them, because IEEE mail ID can only approve on this Google Meet.
Just a minute, I am taking my web page and joining from IEEE.
Sure. Perfect. Yeah, thank you so much. So the next point, we will be discussing benefits from IEEE to become industry ready, because you already got the overview from Asim sir, how IEEE can help you to become a proper student member, okay? How you can take advantages when you are a student, undergraduate or postgraduate or a doctorate student, okay? Then in the last, we will have a talk time, okay? Coming to the first slide, what today industry wants. So if I say from my experience, there are only 2 parameters, qualification and experience, nothing else. Qualification first. Sorry, who's this?
Priyanshu Singh, sir, Prophet.
Sorry, who's this? Priyanshu. Priyanshu, you want to say something? Okay, no problem. Guys, please be on mute. If you want to share any query or comment, please go onto the chat window. I will shift the browser to see your comments, okay, or your queries. We'll serve in the last talk time. Okay, so the first parameter which I think is qualification. Only required for sitting in placement, nothing more than that. Okay, if you have around, I would say 60%, a person who scored, a student who scored in BTech, 60% score, he is also sitting in the same table or same auditorium where the 90% student is also sitting. That was kind of one experience I got from my professors in my college, HMRITM, New Delhi. So in my first year, so they mentioned, Ramni, don't worry about your exams or something, just prepare your experience, just work on your projects and research paper. That's more important for you. So from that way, from that long way, from first year 2015, I got a vision that, yeah, I need to go from there to there. Yeah. So you must have a clear vision for that purpose. The second parameter, experience. 100% must more than your qualification requires to withstand in interview. If I say you are being called for an interview in Wipro, let's say an example, okay? So the technical interviewer asks you, like, what's your work, what you have done? what are your experience and what are your hands-on experience, what you have did, what are the technologies you have been working on. So that needs to be reflect from your experience. Experience doesn't come with the work experience I am talking about. I am talking about the project experience, what you had in your BTech, what you had in your undergraduation. Okay, so that is actually much more important than qualification. So these two prime parameters are the most, and the industry is focusing on experience rather than the qualification more these days during this pandemic period. Coming to the project-based learning, this is one of the top parameter which I have worked since my 11th and 12th standard till now. I am working on it. I'm right now in corporate, but I am working on this. Wherever I find some problem statement from my surrounding, I got to know and I got to relate my knowledge base that yeah, this is one of the things which I can connect to. If I say there's one problem statement which needs an Android development, an Android app. So what I will do, I will learn from Google course, right? I will learn the Android development, I will learn Java, I will learn Kotlin, so that I can get into that field and I can implement my idea. Fine. So project-based learning, before that, I would going to share my website then, so that you guys can have a look how I did my BTech, because many people think like this person says and nothing do, like it's kind of only speaking. But I will share you today like what are the projects and what are the research papers which I did from my 12th class to now I am doing. Okay, so this is my personal blog I just designed, I would say last week only, so I haven't released yet, but yeah, we will be like, I will be sharing soon. So coming to scroll down, I will say like this is one of the best quotation and best verse I have got from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, holy book. The power of God is always with you at all the times, through the activities, mind, senses, breathing, and I would say emotions, and is constantly doing all the work using you as a mere instrument. If I say today we are connected here, okay, like how many people are here? 53 people, around there was 70 to 80. So I would say these connection, this particular, I would say networking is actually kind of an instrument for us to learn and explore. If I say today I am connected with Asim, today I am connected with Meenakshi, if there's any task, if there's any volunteering opportunity, if there's any, I would say, project opportunity under them, so I will connect them directly. There's not an issue. That's what the benefit of IEEE is, right? IEEE actually comes on. I will show you in the coming slides. So be tight, be relaxed into your seat with your laptop and headphone. So we will be coming through very smooth way. So you will be learning a lot. So be constant and be interactive with me. So these are the membership I have been through. I have been a member of IEEE since 2016, my second year. And Human Circle, this is one of the organization initiated by I hardly remember the name, Kamal Seth sir, yeah, Kamal Prakash Seth. He is the Indian representative of RSPO. RSPO, if you many of you if you know, RSPO is the Round Sustainable Table on Palm Oil. So it's kind of one of the great standardized organization in Malaysia, which is working for like on deforestation, climate change, and global warming. So I am the part of Human Circle since 2015, before IEEE. So the third responsibility which I have joined recently, that is Youth for Sustainability. So I got a call from Kamal sir, and he mentioned, Ramnik, can you support technically to Youth for Sustainability website and other stuff? So this is also one of the NGO working on the national level, and we are expanding outside India as well. So these are the professional membership I am part of. So I will talk about this PVN model soon. Don't worry about it. Okay, coming to the projects first. So from the bottom, if you say Vishaka, a government database for digital India. So there was one moment in my second year. One of the professor told me that Ramnik, this is one of the initiative from Digital India, and we are inviting some of the pioneer students from our college to contribute in it. So what was the task given? We have to visit nearby shopkeepers and we need to show them how they can use digital media, how they can use Paytm, how they can use Google Pay and different sources, Beam UPI. So I got my laptop, I got my camera, and I visited numerous, I would say, stationery shop, television showroom, and other nearby shops near my home. So I visited them and I got their data, I got their remarks, and I shared it to the government of India. So that was the one initiative. But what is the need of this project? You all guys were thinking like, why sir has mentioned about Java and MySQL in this project? So there was one tedious task to me that I want to store that data into an Excel sheet. And that was very, as a CSC member, as a CSC, I would say undergraduate, I don't feel to use Excel a lot because I don't like the UI and other stuff. That's kind of lot of stuff going on in that Excel sheet. So what I did, I was knowing Java from my 11th standard and I was knowing MySQL database. So I developed a software in my second year for this particular purpose, right? So what I did, I visited their shop and I asked them their remarks. I told them this is how the method you can use Paytm, how you can use Beam UPI, and I used to store their data. What is your name? What is your address? What is your phone number and email ID, so that I can share it to the Government of India Digital India Initiative. So I made a software and I used that. This is for my own purpose. Okay. So this is one of the project-based learning steps where you will find a problem statement and you will go and grow and connect your technology together, how you can build it more efficiently. Okay. The second thing, it was my first year project, I would say, before Vishaka. It was HMR item digital library. So there was one time, like I belong to Sonipat, Haryana, and not specifically from Delhi. So my college was around 40 minutes from my home, and I used to traverse daily on cab or on my personal vehicle. So I called one of my friend, one of my schoolmate, who was doing, I would say, bachelor's in medical or something. There was degree, because I am unaware about that medical degrees. So he was doing from APJ Satya University, Gurgaon. So I called him and I asked him, brother, are you having a digital library in your college? Because I am fed up to stand in a queue to take my library card. So that was one motivation which I got this problem statement. And he was like, yes, Ramnik, all colleges must have that digital library. And I was like, I was remembering that scene of Shah Rukh Khan, and there was one Lakshman, yeah, in that particular movie. So he said, no, no one has that particular, you can say, resource in Lakshman. So that was in Hindi, if I translate, because we have a lot of people from South India. So it's like, so it was kind of one motivation which I got from that particular long queue in library. So I was very much fed up and frustrated. Why should I stand in a queue to get a HMR-ITM digital, I would say HMR-ITM library card? That was my first semester. And then I got into the cabin of librarian and I asked him, sir, don't we have digital library? Like if I am having a one, I would say, you can say I am having one book or something, I can scan the barcode and I can get it issued, right? Very digitally. There's no way to like go stand and wait so that they can issue, they can tick mark onto the register, I can mark my signature. But that's kind of very tedious task. So I went to librarian, I told him what is the issue, and I told him that I am aware about Java and MySQL and a little bit computer networking, so I can help you to build this software for free for the college. So librarian told me that, yeah, Ramnik, you can visit the head of department of computer science. And I was like, okay, perfect. So let's explore that particular thing as well. This is the motivation. This is the, I would say, this is the motivation of getting a problem statement from your surrounding. That's what all project-based learning concept is all about. Okay. So I went to HOD and it was around 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. was the off time of our college. So we need to leave the college at 4. And it was 3 p.m. and I was having only 1 hour. So HOD sir mentioned that, Ramnik, you have 1 hour. And in that particular system, we have Java and MySQL install and the software NetBeans. So you go ahead and make a front end. If I liked it, this project is yours and you can deploy it completely and you can develop it. So what I did, I went to that system and I designed like only the front end, not the back end of Java. So he liked very much. He was like, wow, that's really great. You are the first person, like after 12th, you have the knowledge of Java, and Java is into the syllabus of 3rd year. And I was also shocked that what I learned in my 11th, 12th, it's actually in the 3rd year of my BTech. So it's kind of a surprising notice. So like he gave that project to me and I worked whole semester in parallel to my examination in classes and assignments. Because I know many of you are here who will give an excuse, sir, we don't have much time. We do have assignments. We do have like practicals, exams, and all these things. See, as Asim sir mentioned in his presentation, all one has 24 hours. It all depends upon the strategizing your task. What you like the most. If you like development, if you like developing software for your college, if you like software development for your society, go ahead. No one is there to stop you. You just connect with your local, you can say municipal corporation, you can connect with your director or deputy director of your college. They can help you out. Why not? They are looking for these students who are proactive in building up the software for free and for their own college. This is how you can return back to the college, right? It's kind of a guru dikshana you give to your college. So that was one of the project, first semester project, and it got completed in the end of in the beginning of second semester, and I got a title in the first year only because I topped my university. It was around I got third rank. Yeah, I got third rank in my university in first year, and with that I got a title of technocrat. So that was kind of a proud moment for me, but that was not a stop for me. So I thought that yeah, this is how I start. Then in the second year, I got into check time attendance system. That was also one of the college projects which I did single-handedly. Then coming to my fourth semester, so this is how, like, let me tell you one scenario. You all are aware about Digital India, right? It was started in 2014. So for me to give an BTech examination, final examination of semester, I need to go to different college from my hometown and need to give exams there, right? Many of the, I would say, in our our Indian universities follow the same, who have the affiliated colleges. So affiliated colleges need to visit each other exam. So that was the time, and it was around 1.15 hours from my hometown. And I used to board the bus at 7 a.m. from my hometown and to visit Delhi. It was around 10 o'clock my exam starts, and around 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. I got out from my college, and like I go to the Kashmiri Gate. Kashmiri Gate is one of the, I would say, national junction point of our nation, where you can get any bus of any state. Okay, so we have that junction point of nation. So you imagine, I reached at 5 p.m. that bus stand in the evening when I was going back to my hometown to board a bus from Kashmiri Gate, Delhi. So 5 p.m. I got a bus at 7 p.m. I got a seat with a paper ticket of 40 rupees. That was so frustrating. I went to home. I reached home around 9 o'clock because in the evening you have lot of traffic in Delhi border near to Sonipat and Delhi. So I reached home around 9 in the night, and I just brainstormed how it should be done so that I can make this automated. So I thought, and I published this research paper also. You see, every project here listed is having us on their research paper. I published a research paper and implementation both. So it's not necessary you can publish the paper alone. You can publish the proposal model as well with the diagrams and other things, right? It's not compulsory. If you implement a project, you should need to publish that thing also in the research paper. No, it's not fine. It's totally fine. We will discuss in the upcoming slide. So then I thought that why not I can deploy a fingerprint sensors on the ticket counter. When anyone comes, the fingerprint will be scanned to my Aadhaar database and the bank amount will be deducted as normally we do in the rental bikes and a different thing. In Bangalore, Smart City and Pune, Bhubaneswar, we have all those rental bikes option. In Delhi also we have little companies working on this model. So this is how I thought, and I published one research paper. I will tell you when we will come on the research paper side. Publication part. So this was the second year paper, and last year only in November 2019 I published into a patent. So you see, project-based learning is all about finding a problem statement, working on it, checking if it exists or not. See, I am a guy from Sonipat, Haryana, and I am thinking on one particular, you can say, idea. It's impossible across the planet. No one has ever imagined about that idea, right? You have to explore, you have to do a research survey, you have to do a literature survey perfectly so that you can go ahead and you can build that, you can file that patent. Okay, so that is one of the steps in the research-based learning. Then I came to know it was third year summer break, and I did around 3 things together. That was working as a software intern. I would say it's kind of a software trainee only. I built a software on the request of HOD of electronics department. Be mind that I am from CSE, HOD of electronics department called me one day, and that was my sessional examination. That's kind of a mini exams, kind of, you can say, unit test, if I say, because many colleges have their own notation to speak about that. So that was my last, and it was Saturday, and it was February 2018. And you can see like February 2018. So I highlighted. So Feb 2018, it was Saturday. First week was, yeah, it was second week, and professor called me from upstairs. Electronics department is in the top floor, and CS is on the first floor. So in my college, so he called me, Ramnik, please visit me once your exam is done. I need to give you a call with someone who is actually from one of my friends. So I went to his cabin, and he gave me the phone and told me that Ramnik, he is the director of All India Radio, Khampur, New Delhi. And I was like, sir, once again, can you please repeat? He is the director of All India Radio, one of my friend, which I worked in All India Radio before this professorship. And I was like, okay, so they need help from you, because I only know you from CSE. No one else student I know, because you already deployed a software onto library of our college. So I need your help to help them. So I talked with the director of AIR, and he mentioned, Ramnik, please visit me. It's like in front of my college only. Once, like, we need to cross the road, and so in the front there's the office of All India Radio. So I visited that day, and he called all the accounts department people, and he asked me, Ramnik, we need to develop a software for our accounts department. And that office was since 1984, and they are using around registers, I would say 4 registers for 1 year. So they were doing in that way. And I was amazed to see 4 register per year, and it's since 1984. How many register you have wasted, and how much paper you have wasted. So I proposed my all work which I did, Aadhaar transport check time and Vishaka and HMR ITM digital library. I shown them the samples, and they were excited, and they were agreeing on my point that, yeah, Ramnik, you are awesome. You have you know about software programming, software development. So please go ahead, take this project. So I worked from February till July 2018, and I developed and deployed that software. Right now also they are using that for bill management, salary management, and all the things what they use. So this is one of the kickstart in my, I would say, BTech journey. How you use your time in BTech. 4 years are kind of a very long period. That depends upon you, how you use that time, right? Then coming to that HMR ITM feedback book, that was my, not my, it was a collaborative project. I was a mentor to one of the third-year girl, and she was knowing about website development a lot. And this was also one of the college projects. So I proposed this to with her to HOD and director of our college, that for the feedback of students to the teachers, so we can develop this website, because they were giving around, I would say, like 1 or 2 lakh of rupee to the hosting team every year, and they are maintaining, and we have a lot of limitation. So we developed this website our own, and we deployed it for the use of the college. So right now also it's working. So see, this is how you can find the problem statement. Coming to then, that it was my minor project, which I did single-handedly, because no one was ready from my class. Like, Ramnik, you have bring something new, and everyone was copying. Like many of you final year on the call, you must be imagining like talking with your friend, and you are making your final minor or major project, and you talk with your friend, let's download this code from GitHub and then jump submit it. No, 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 no. It's not like that. You have learned last 3 years in your BTech, what you did, what you learned from your curriculum. That's more important. So what I did, I proposed a new, because I did a certification in my third year in parallel to accounts manager software development. So I did certification from Singapore, from Delhi. There was a training center in Delhi, and it was on cloud computing and Netcom professional. So Netcom is kind of networking and optical fiber communication. So I know about every single process, how your Wi-Fi router works in your home, how the fiber joins and splice and everything. Everything I know about it, hands-on experience. So I proposed this project in my minor project, and my HOD was saying, Ramik, since first I'm from electrical or electronics engineering background. I was like, sir, this is not about electrical electronics. This router and switch is actually helping you to get internet on your own. So it's not like that. It's pure computer science, cloud computing domain. So I did my minor project single-handedly. Then in the major project, I got connected with one of the like there was kind of lot of situation comes when you are in a class. Many students are not so much comfortable with working with others, right? So there was one girl, and she was saying that Ramnik, every time I get to in some of the team before this project, before this major project, they only give me the documentation work. So I need to point it out here because we have women in engineering, you can say one of the affinity group in IEEE, v.ieee.org. So I will share the link and in the chat window. 1 second. Yeah. So there you go. Okay. So this is one of the portal, and I was thinking like I am a part of IEEE since my second year, and if I can motivate this girl to be the part of my major project, and I can give this whole technical development to her, and I will do the documentation work, it will be a kind of one of the blessing or one of the, you can say, support which I get from her. Okay. So I did the same. I told her, okay, so I got your scenario that no one gives you the technical job or technical hands-on experience, and you can't learn more without doing that. So what we will do in this major project, you do all your technical job. Okay, you develop this software on Java. You also know Java. I also know Java. If there's any confusion, I will be there. So she developed the whole Java program using MySQL database, and I was doing all research paper work and documentation work which we need to submit in the college for the formalities. So now also, like, she mentioned to me after this major project successful, like we got a percentage around 95 or 98% is in my major project. And she mentioned, Ramni, this is the first project in my resume which I can tick in front of the interviewer, and I can confidently say about this project because I have done. See, this is how you need to motivate your college mates which are not comfortable to work in a team. Okay, so this was my major project. And now also I am doing a lot of projects in parallel. I am developing software for the colleges use for different colleges. Now it's kind of expansion is already been there. So I have been in communication with one of the professors from Tamil Nadu. So they are actually facing some problems. So I will be doing, once that approves, so I will be doing a software development for them. This is how you find problem statement. So coming for this particular publications, see from the bottom, Robocom is my first paper which I published before my first semester, before I got admitted in my college, and after my 12th class. So there's a gap of 2 months now. You have to wait for your examination results. So I called my IIT Roorkee friend, which got admitted. He was the topper from my school. And as you all aware, IITs and NITs and triple ITs, they start their campus 1 month before with respect to other universities, right? Our session actually, commonly starts in August, and their session starts in July. So I was very much fond of reading magazines in my 11th and 12th class, electronics. So I called my friend, Vaibhav, can you please let me know what is this research paper? Can you ask some professor there in IIT Roorkee, and can you help me out? What is this? So I got the insights that Ramnik, research paper I got communicated after one day. He called me, and Ramnik, research paper is nothing. It's kind of English documentation for your idea, nothing else. So I was motivated, and this was the first paper which I published in Jawaharlal Nehru University, and that was the first time in my life which I faced in front of Africans, like Chinese professor researchers were there from China, Japan, Saudi Arabia. So many professors were sitting, and I was only the 1/12th pass out person presenting a research paper in front of them. So it was kind of a very shy moment, but yeah, I did well. So then in first year, I promised myself that yeah, this research paper is kind of very good thing, which I can actually document in my resume. Because in first year, we don't know what's gonna be happen after my final year. Okay, so you need to be actually on safe side. So you work on your hackathon, internship, and other things, research paper, and all things together. Fine. You just need to strategize your task. What do you want to do? So from my first year semester, I promised myself I will publish one research paper at least in every semester. In last 8 semester, which I after my major project, I saw my resume, and it was around 12 research papers I already published in my BTech time. And that's also in IEEE conferences or journals of Scopus, or I would say Springer, elsewhere, and UGC approved journals. So I was kind of like, yeah, now my resume is being strengthened. No one can stop me to get into their company. But my vision was different. Right now, I am also working on that particular vision, and I am publishing papers right now. Also, I am publishing patents and other things. That's all in the process, because IEEE helps me out, helps me a lot. This is how you can take the advantage of $27. And now, as Sir mentioned, and I have shared the Future 50 code. So if you want to become an IEEE member, when you will go into your cart, just put join IEEE, and you can go and put that promotion code Future 50. So you can avail 50% discount for 1 year. So it's like till December 2021, you will be having this membership. So after that, you have to renew every year, depending upon your experience and depending upon your advantage you are taking from IEEE. So then I came to my second year. Then I published this paper. I published this paper plus project. These all papers have their implementation also, because I did both things in parallel to it. So this was one of the I mentioned like that check time attendance system. So this was one of the paper with my HOD of CSC. Then I published this paper, and this was one of the paper which I did in my I would say 7th semester beginning. Yeah. So Aadhaar farming, connecting with government, because I was very much motivated using Aadhaar every time. So you can see in every research paper, I have a taste of that Aadhaar database, because many people were saying, and I was looking into December 2018 news, and many farmers has like got into debt and they can't repay the loan because of the disaster and raining season. So I thought, why not I should propose this particular model and publish this. So I publish a particular, you can say, you can explore my website and you can check out, just Google this paper, you can get the upper link on to elsewhere. So you can have a look how I wrote my paper in my BTech and how I'm writing these days also. So this was my major project, and this is one of the, when I got into Wipro, one of my final year students actually approached me from my college that, Bhaiya, we want support for you in our major project. So I guided them for their paper, and guided them and mentored them for their project implementation also. Recently, I published, this is in the publication pending stage. So it is being accepted by Springer, Wireless Personal Communication, that's a Scopus SCI index paper journal. So I published this particular paper. And then recently I gave a talk in IEEE ANTS. So IEEE ANTS is one of the reputed conference from IEEE Computer Society in India. So I gave a tutorial talk on intelligence traffic management, because I am working in SA. I will tell you what is SA and IEEE SA. Then this is being published recently, like I would say 2 months before I published this paper. And this is also one of the paper. And this is how, like, this is the patent, that second year paper I was talking about. This is the patent corresponding to that. On 11th November 2019, I got published. So this is all about, fine. So coming back to the slide, I will tell you why project-based learning is very necessary for you in your bachelor's. So makes your profile strengthened with projects with real-time, real-world problem solver. Because in the society, in your college, in your university, you got to have this title. Like, yeah, if you want to solve this problem or you want to build a software, just go with this guy. He's kind of a real-world problem solver. So this is how you're gonna make your own personal brand. Okay. So makes you confident in interview without any fear to prove yourself, because you have a couple of things in your resume. You don't even, like, when I was in my technical interview of Wipro last year in January 2019, it was 10th January 2019, because I remember that day, because that was one of the first moment I got into my first interview of my life. Sorry. So I got into interview, and he underlined my resume, saying, what is this IEEE? What is this IEEE brand ambassador? What is this IEEE impact creator? What are you doing in this stuff? So my whole technical interview was on my resume. So there was only one question: what do you mean by bubble shot? And you guys are well aware from the CSC background what is bubble shot. So that was a simple interview I did. This is because you have a couple of things in your resume. That's how you can strengthen your profile from early beginning of your BTech, from first semester itself, right? So it gives you hands-on experience, because you have worked in this technology, you have worked on the concepts, you have connected your curriculum with a project, real world project which you are working on. No rush to find internship or jobs if you are a budding entrepreneur. If I say you have a couple of things, you are well aware about project-based learning, you have built a software or a project for the public or for the society use. If I say there's some problem in a municipal corporation, Sonipat, Haryana, I will go to them and I will ask them, sir, can I contribute myself? Due to the networking, right? You have some network with your people, you can talk with them. If you are having some problem, can I build this software for you for free? And you can get a letter of recommendation from them. What you need, don't worry about certificates or money. That doesn't actually help you in the interview. Money and certificate, people don't see in the interview. They only see what work you have done, what is the impression, what the, I would say, the requester from that particular university or college or from society for which you are working reflects on the letter of recommendation. That's how you're gonna be build your resume. Coming to the second point, research-based learning, which I mentioned. So let's go through some of the steps which are actually very, I would say, I'm very much fond of about this because I've gathered all the points together and put into the presentation so that you can have a proper, you can say, knowledge you can take from this session. The first step, find problem in your surrounding, as I did, right? You can see the problem in your surrounding, what you are facing. Right now in COVID, what are the problems you are facing, right? I would say shopkeepers are on, right? They are not using masks. What you can do? You can make a camera software for the police department, which are already deployed in the cities on the highways, and you can track those unmasked people, and you can give their address, give their location to the police department. They can visit and they can charge the fine. That's how you're going to control it, right? This is one of the problem. The second, try to relate your knowledge base to solve it. You have your curriculum, which you have already did in the final year or your whole 4 years. So what you're going to relate your curriculum to the project. That's how you're going to learn. The third, make a rough sketch. There was a lot of times when I was around, it was 12 a.m. or 1 a.m. I am in my bed, I am sleeping, and suddenly I got a thought that, yeah, Arey, I can solve this problem. I can make a proposal. I can make some rough sketch. Now see, it's very hard to remember your ideas when you got into the night. And when you wake up, those ideas are vanished, right? So do one thing, what I follow, but don't pressurize yourself to do this. I get most of the ideas when there's a silence around me, in night most probably. So I got up and I make a rough sketch into my rough whiteboard or rough paper. So in the morning, I got to know about that idea and relate, and I try to memorize what was the concept which I was thinking last night. So I can relate and I can publish a paper directly. There's no issue. The fourth step, do research survey. IEEE can surely help you out. There's a IEEE Explore Digital Library where you can, if you are a member, and if you are a member and if you have taken a, you can say, membership for the digital library also, so you can download that paper. And in spite of that, if you are not ready to contribute the more money into digital library membership, just be an IEEE member. Okay, so there's a lot of open access things, open access paper. You can download those papers. Coming to the fifth step, learn about that technology and concept which is being used to solve it more efficient. If I say we have an Android development, right? We have an Android operating system in our phones. How you can make it more efficient? Do it like, do we have the internet bandwidth properly? Do I need to check out the UI? My app UI is not good. So this is how you're going to learn. Google is always there. Sundar Pichai is there to help you out. Just take the advantage of all the resources which you are having with you. Okay, that's all depends upon you. Sixth step, but it's optional. As I mentioned, you can work single-handedly if you are capable and if you have the knowledge base. So you can make a perfect match team. You can find your friends into your colleges or different colleges outside college or outside state, outside India as well, because IEEE help you to network, right? So you can make a team, you can ask those professors. Right now we have a lot of students from South India, North India, and every corner of nation and planet. So you can network. This is a golden opportunity to network with you. That I have this project. You can share your LinkedIn profile in the chat window with them. That's why I have initiated that introduction ice breaking in the WhatsApp group, so that you guys can be comfortable and you can convert that and you can find your perfect match team for your project. That's how gonna we learn it, right? That's how gonna we publish a paper and patent. The seventh step, got the things ready, just go ahead and implement. Nothing else. Just implement. then document it in the form of research paper, review paper. Whoa, many people will say, sir, we are not aware about research paper, what you are talking about. So we have one website, IEEE Author Center. So there you can go and you can check out the step-to-step process, how a research paper works, what are the different sections. And we have a lot of volunteers and students here who have already contributing the lot. Like Aryan is from Delhi section, and Aryan is working, and right now also he is publishing papers. So you can network with him and you can take the help, right? You can take the guidance, or you can Google it, IEEE Author Center. That's how you're gonna help. And then in the ninth step, you have document your paper, you document your idea. Just the one step is left, publish it or patent it. It depends upon you where you want to go ahead. And you have professors in your colleges, they are there help, they are there to help you out. Don't ever think that professors are there only to eat your fees. Okay, so because my director in my first year told Ramnik, if I would say divide your fees 80,000 rupees of 1 year into one class, so it comes to be 100 rupees, around 100 rupees. So it all depends upon you how you take that 100 rupees back by asking questions to your professor during the classes and take the guidance. That's how you're gonna make your personal brand and impression and reputation in front of them and respect them. Last step, repeat. This is how you're gonna build up your resume. Okay, so how IEEE helped and helping me, I will let you know a little bit more insights onto this timeline. So I told you that I was familiar and I published about research paper in my 12th and college first semester time. Then in 2016 I joined IEEE, and I actually devote around half an hour or 1 hour daily on IEEE.org portal just to explore new things, because there are lot of things, resources available on that particular single portal. You just devote half an hour or 1 hour daily to explore what are the different societies, what are the different groups, what are the different communities to whom which I can volunteer, I can participate, and I can network with. That's how you're gonna help, and you can help yourself. The third point, third timeline, from 2016 to 2018, I was the webmaster because I was only the CSC guy in my IEEE student branch, and I gave some workshops which I learned because I was knowing Java. That was in third year, so I share workshops for first year and second year and third year so that they can take help from my workshop to help to clear their exams and know more about Java. Then there are a lot of plenty of I would say I handle website, I handle Android app. So you can just Google IEEE HMR item. So the website which will pop up, that is being designed by me. So you can have a look. Okay, you can have a look what are the activities which we did and in my student branch. Then from January 2019 to July 2019, around 6 months, and I know many chairperson and many EXCOM members of IEEE branches are on the call today, and they are worried how we can build up our branch and section during this pandemic time. For me, if I say, from my point of view, it all depends upon you, how creative you are. Today, we are connected through this medium, through this Google Meet. This is all happening right now, right? So you have to grab the audience, you have to build the interest, you have to break the ice with them so that they will be comfortable in your own comfort zone, okay? So they can learn about it. So when I was passing out from my college in July 2019, I published one article and I discovered and I gave my farewell speech on PVN model. So if all the IEEE volunteers and IEEE, I would say, EXCOM members are on the call, they can strongly relate to this concept: participation, volunteering, and networking. See, all these three terms are into one closed loop. If you participate, today you are participating, right? You are networking with me, you are networking with Asim sir, you are networking with Minakshi ma'am and everyone else who are on the call. This is one of the golden opportunity. You are participating, you are networking, and most probably, if you belong to your own student branch, you can ask them, like, I need to moderate the next session, I need to speak, right? This is one of the volunteering opportunity. So this is kind of a closed loop which I discovered in my final year, and I published an article on my LinkedIn profile. You can have a look. And yesterday only I recent post that I renewed my membership, and you can have a look onto my article to explore what are the different benefits, which I did from my journey. In the end, volunteering is still on. See, today I am connected. I am not getting any money out of it, I'm not actually, I'm just giving you speech for free. I'm giving my knowledge, what I know from my experience to you. Just take the full advantage. That's how I am on the numerous positions. You can apply for the forms. You can nominate yourself in the sectional level, student branch level, regional level, India Council level, anywhere. It all depends upon you and your interest, what you want to do. And don't ever think that you will get a certificate or something. Certificate is a standard thing. The first thing, experience, which I mentioned in the last slide. Qualification is another thing, but experience is more important. Coming to that, what IEEE can help you out to become an industry ready? What actually, because I am working in industry today, and I know what are the things is being required from an industry or a corporate environment if you are looking onto that part. So the first one, which is very much important, and many professors, I'm shocked to see many professors are unaware about it. IEEE Standard Association and their working groups. So see, if I say, you all aware about IEEE standard, right? Let me come back to the browser so that I can see. Yeah, okay. So can anyone tell me about IEEE Standard Association? If anyone is aware about it? Anyone?
Hello?
Yeah, Mujamil.
Sir, IEEE standards are the standards on which the company make their product based on the IEEE standard. For example, for a Wi-Fi router, 108 point, I think 11 or 111 is the IEEE
Uh-huh.
standard for the Wi-Fi or router.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So it is,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
that's great. Thank you so much, Mujabil. So I will
Thank you, sir.
share that link with you all guys, and you can have a look. So this is one of the portal of IEEE Standard Association, and I mentioned in the slides also. So see, IEEE Standard Association works on the standards of the protocols which are used by the different society, different companies across the planet. If I say Wi-Fi, as Mujamil mentioned about Wi-Fi protocol, Wi-Fi standard, and LAN network, IEEE 802.11x series. They have a working group. They have their own committees. You can participate, you can volunteer yourself, you can ask them query, you can build up your side, right? The second thing, IEEE Standard University. So IEEE Standard University is one of the great group which I have gone through from the last 2 to 3 years. I have gone through this website, and I got to know yesterday only from one of the professors, and she mentioned like if any student is interested, the college student is interested to implement their project on which they are using their IEEE standards, so they can get a scholar, they can get a funding support of $500 to complete it, to complete that project. There you go. You have a lot of opportunity there. So don't worry about $27 or $13.50. It's very less compared to all these benefits. Okay. Third one, obviously, PVN always comes in everything. So do participation, volunteering, and networking. The second thing, second benefit, leadership opportunity. Become part and make an impact to your society. If you are a part of student branch, become part. Do volunteering and nominate yourself and ask for the request for your interest that, yeah, I am interested to get contributed and volunteer at this particular position. So ma'am or sir, can you please help me out to actually vision myself to that position? They can help you out. Or you can visit this website, volunteer.ieee.org. There are plenty of volunteering opportunity and you can apply directly. You can mail those coordinators or those organizers of those events which are looking for volunteers like you, who explore your skills like team working, critical thinking, problem solving, decision taking, extra. Because when you work in a team in IEEE, like today also we have a volunteering team together, right? They are working on this thing, how recording should be done, how the chat window should be monitored, who will be moderating, who will be saying introduction, right? Who will be giving the presentation role or something. So this is how team working works. And now today also we in the morning, in the afternoon we faced this problem in the starting of this workshop that WebEx was not working. There was some audio problem. So we instantly solved that problem and come to Google Meet. That's how you're gonna take the decision and solve the problem real time. Third one, do volunteer. Nominate yourself to different technical or non-technical positions anywhere. Okay. Learn from your volunteering and don't think for payback, as I mentioned last time. Explore yourself from these experiments and increase your knowledge bank. See, paying back or getting a payback from IEEE volunteering, it's kind of a complimentary. When you will speak, when you will visit some of the conferences to speak, they will definitely pay for your travel, pay your food, and give you a 5-star hotel accommodation. That's how it's gonna work. I visited Dehradun last, I would say it was June 2019, and I took my car and went to Dehradun. And there was one in UPES Dehradun College, and that was National Hackathon, and I was a part of SS12 Committee in Innovation Challenge Track. And I need to filter out and I need to select some of the judge some of the projects there who have been working for last 2 days there. So I went there. All the travel, all the food, all the accommodation there was taken by the university and IEEE itself. That's how you get the payback, right? So don't think about it. In the last, you can join IEEE. 50% off is there for using Future 50 for new as well as renew student member. If you want to go into renew this year, so you can use Future 50 to give a 50% discount. In the last, thank you so much for such patience, and I hope time is 4:10 and we can finish up by 4:20 if you have little queries. And I will share these links and the LinkedIn profile onto the chat window so that we can connect together. So let me stop my presenting, and here's my profile, and here's my LinkedIn handle. You can connect me on LinkedIn, you can mail me, you can check out the profile and anything else. Fine. Now I'm open for the queries. Please go ahead and you can share your queries. Let me have a chat window overview. Okay. So do we have any queries or not? Not yet. Guys, please be comfortable if you have any queries related to IEEE, your career, or what's your write down. Yeah, who's this?
Hello, sir. This is Muzammil again.
Yes, Muzammil. Yeah.
Sir, how will you suggest core branch engineering student? For example, I'm from electrical engineering. So how will you suggest me to get into a software department? Because I have really interest on Java, C, and I did it in class 11, 12. I did Java, and then in college I have done C, and then from I get a certification of Python from IIT Kanpur IC on association with ICT. So suggest me some tips to get into a software, or it will be a good approach or a bad approach, or at least through some light in it.
Okay, so perfect question.
Yes.
Because one of my schoolmate is also was also in this particular situation, and what he did, I will tell you. Hope it can help you out as well. So I mentioned there's
Yes.
one schoolmate from IIT Roorkee, right, to whom I talked for research paper writing. So he took engineering physics in IIT Roorkee, and I was amazed to see in his third year, he did a 6 months course from online, like some nano degree or something, or some certification in data science, and got placed in one of the reputed companies of data analytics for 26 lakh package. And remember, the stream is engineering physics. So I would suggest it all depends upon your interest. If you want to pursue in software industry, go ahead. No one is there to stop you. You can go in the off campuses. You can apply online onto their careers website. You can mail them. You can mail the HR. You can connect on the LinkedIn. But that's how you're gonna network it, right?
So, sir, how should I approach for it?
Yeah, just connect with the HRs on the software companies who can help you out in the LinkedIn. And you can showcase that, yeah, I have been knowing about this language since this time, and I have built my whole resume onto this particular domain. Can you please guide me? What are the steps to get into your software company? That's how I also started.
First of all, sir, I had to gain experience or hands-on experience on a particular language now.
Yeah, you can learn it. Yeah, Google is there, Udacity is there, Coursera is there. You can take the help of that.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for your query. Yeah. Is there anyone else? Guys, be comfortable. This is, as I mentioned, this is one of the golden opportunities. I won't be so much, I would say, available on LinkedIn much to reply back to you. But yeah, I am sure that I will reply on in weekends, because weekdays it too is to my office work and weekends is to IEEE. So go ahead. If you have any queries, please feel free to
Hello.
ask. Yeah, Mujamil.
Hello. Sir, again,
Hello.
Muzammil.
Yeah. Tell me.
So
No
what
problem.
is your first approach after learning the Java language? What is your first approach? Just directly getting into the projects, or learning some artificial intelligence or data science, or using that particular language?
No. See, many students come to me and ask me, sir, how shall we go with machine learning? So they mention like we will start from scratch and we will go to the advanced level. And I was like, are you doing PhD in machine learning? If yes, please tell me where to go. So this is how one of the misconceptions people are holding. For me,
Exactly.
I started Java in my 11th standard from my CBSE syllabus itself. Though there was no harm or something, I developed my 12th main project in Java, and I got to know about software development till then. And then I rolled out in my college, and wherever I find any problem statement, I ask professor that can I build this software? Can I help you out? So they agreed and they liked me, and there was go. There was the first step. There's no hard and fast rule.
So basically means learning the basics of the language and then implementing it on the problems solving statements like.
Yeah, obviously, if you want to get the knowledge, Google it. If you want to implement, it's all about just download the software and get ahead. You have a lot of documentation on numerous technologies. It's all depends upon you how you gonna take the advantage of those resources, right?
Yes, sir.
All the
Means
things are
knowing
there.
the basics, means knowing the basics of some programming languages, basically is sufficient to start your career in
Yeah.
computer science department.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you again.
Anyone else? I hope you are not sleeping at the back end of the camera. So can you please open up your cameras, please?
Still, I am not sleeping.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, see. Guys, please come on the camera so that we can note that you are not sleeping.
It was a very nice presentation and a nice interaction with you, Ramnik.
Thank you so
So
much, Asim sir. Same here.
hopefully the students can collaborate with you to find the local problems, and then we can work it out. And even though, as per the IEEE tagline, that work for the technology for humanity, so
Yeah.
we can take up the small problems and sort them out with the help of other students, and in your leadership, and with the help of professors as well.
Yeah, sure, sir. Yeah.
Mm.
Step starts from the professors only because professors are
Mm.
the, I would say, one of the pioneer resource which students have in their colleges.
Yeah.
I am out of that picture.
Definitely
Sir,
the
what about the resume?
pardon.
Yes, Asim sir. Yes. Please go ahead.
Some student was there for asking some question.
Uh, Priyanshu, I guess. Priyanshu, I already shared my website. I won't share my resume. Don't be here to steal my data. So I already shared my website. That's all the same as resume.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, Asim sir, for staying such long with me. It was really
So
nice communicating with you.
thank you,
Ramnik,
same
thank you.
here, Ramnik.
Thank you, sir.
Somebody said at the
Thank
starting
you
of
so much,
the
Ramnik.
meeting that
And
you will share your resume with all of us.
I won't share the resume, Priyanshu, but I mentioned I've already shared my website. You can have a look onto that. It's updated. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Yes, Meenakshi ma'am. Sorry to
okay,
get.
at last, I also want to say that Ramnik, thank you so much. The session was very good actually, but student, I think there was some problem, and just because of that, the count was very less. And initially the count was good, but in mid of the session, I think some of the students have left. There can be so many reasons behind that, but I just listened the complete session, and it was very nice. And I
Thank
listened
you
the
so much.
complete session of Asim sir. I know Asim sir was session was already very good. They have already given one more session in my institute, but and his session is always very nice.
Thank you so
Ramnik, I
much.
think you can play an important role in connecting, other branches with the computer science and engineering. As
Mhm.
Muzammil said that how, what my opinion is that the first and very important question of the students is that how we can make a career. And I have a totally different opinion from that. We should, we should say something, understand something, present something else. If we are getting, if we are graduating in engineering, then doing the postgraduate, then doing the PhD, obviously we will get the job. That is that is quite understood. Then why we are saying that we are doing for this? We should say that we are doing the research because of our interest only, and we are working for that. One fellow, that Priyansu, asked for resume. What do hell with resume? What to do with resume? What industry want? If I am even though that have some importance, if certificates are also important for that, but they are not the first and foremost requirement. And students must understand that in the previous days, if we consider the power system, in the power system, that everything was operated manually, relays and all these things were operated manually. If we go to the mechanical engineering machines, lathes and these welding machines, they were operated manually. But now what you have to do, you have to just sit in a cabin, and you have to operate so many robots type of machines, and this to operate the power system, or some JCBs. So already there has been an interface with the software and the hardware. So the students of particular branch like electrical engineering or electronics engineering or mechanical engineering, if they want to stay in their core field associated with the computer science, they should work on another platform, interactive platform. If they want to enter purely in the computer science based problem, then there will be another platform for them. So at least they should understand, and they should work on that. Like Muzammil said, and Java, or I am not from the computer science and engineering, I may not be aware of that. One technology may be important today, very much important today, but it will be it may be waste
It will not be
by
very
tomorrow.
useful in future.
So you should stay updated, and you should find the right track. And so far as the learning is concerned, if we do the problem based learning, then definitely it will take some less time, consume less time, because software and all these things. If we ask about the MATLAB is an ocean of the application, but you have to concentrate on your problem first, identify your problem and what is of your use. That will cut short your time of utilization and all these things.
Sure.
So that should be. So I think you should collaborate all the branches with TSC and
Sure. Like I'm already doing that stuff, sir, and it's on the go. As I am the part of Computer Society.
In my presentation, I always say even history may be the part of technology.
Yeah.
Nothing is isolated. We are in the
every subject is interrelated, and students should understand if
every
yeah. Yes, sir.
And moreover, my opinion is that by today or tomorrow or after a couple of years, India is going to follow the same pattern like abroad, that they will have the graduate in engineering with certain specialization of 3 years or 4 years, something like that. There will be no branch of engineering, mechanical, electrical, and something like that. That is happening in most of the countries. No?
Sure, sir. Yeah. Fine. Yeah. Thank you so much. Sir.
So I think we three are connected with that. So we should, I think, wind it up.
If we can have a group pic, that would be great. Meenakshi, can we have it?
Yeah.
Yes. Definitely. We will create a group.
So guys,
in that I think we can converse it.
Yeah, guys, can you please come on the camera? Can we take a group pic together? There you go. Ria is there. Amit, Mujamil, who else? Pratyush, Mukul, Aryan is already there. Who else? Priyanshu, Sumit. Mayank, we can't see you. Come on, guys. Don't be shy enough. You are also humans. We are also humans. Yeah. Mayank, can you take a screenshot from your side and can you share in the WhatsApp group? You are muted, Mayank.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so then let the people come. Guys, can we please come ahead, yeah? Naman, Manika, Abhishek, Rahul, Dheeraj, Sarthak, Mansi, Gaurav, Suraj, Nisha, Preetam, sir. Guys, please come ahead. What happened? Okay, so Mayank, on 1, 2, 3, you can take it, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys, can we have a proper smile onto our face? I know everyone is frustrated from the lockdown, but it's fine. We all are in the same situation. There you go. Okay, man. 1, 2, and
Yes, sir. Take it.
done. Thank you so much. Aryan, you were saying something on the chat video?
I was just informing you, like, not to worry. I am entering the people using the mail ID, IEEE mail ID. So not to worry right now. All
Okay,
right.
that's great. Yeah, I hope the session was great. Meenakshi, thank you so much for inviting me out. And it's really a wonderful collaborative event that we did today with IEEE Uttaranchal University and REC. And it's always great to associate with great-minded people like you, Wasim sir, and every volunteer today. And yeah, that's all about from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So you really have a very inspiring journey.
I hope it helps so much, Ria, and it will surely help you ahead.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bye.
So I want to inform this certificate registration Google form will be provided on the WhatsApp group, and further information will also be provided on the WhatsApp group.
Perfect.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ria. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.